Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back, and we are starting our first Django project from this tutorial. So I'm assuming that you have already installed Python and pip, so that and you have already installed virtual environment. So this is totally your choice if you want to use virtual environment or not. If you don't want to use that, then there is no so much for I'm not forcing you to do that because it's all your choice, but it's better to use virtual environment. So what you have to do to activate it, so basically I am using my MacBook Pro, and I am here into the my Django 2018 you can say directory. And now to activate my virtual environment, what I can say virtual env, which means virtual environment. So if you have not installed virtual environment yet, then you can use this command to install it. Like you can write pip install virtual env. So it will it will install the virtual environment, and pip is basically the package manager for Python, so you can use pip. Then after you will install virtual environment, because I have already installed it, then you can write virtual env and the name of your environment. So let's say my environment is my env. So I will press enter and see it is installing setup tools, and it is done because I already did that earlier as well. So let's clear it once, and now we have the virtual environment. So let's go to that virtual environment, my env. So I am into my virtual environment. Now I have to activate this. So how can I activate this? I will write source bin slash activate. Okay, so what it will do, it will activate my virtual environment, and once it is activated, you can see on the left side there is a my virtual environment, my environment, in the brackets. So this is how you will find that you are doing the right thing. So this is how we will proceed. Now let's press cd dot dot. So we are into our virtual environment, and now we are into our directory, which was Django 2018. So we are again back to our directory, and here we can write clear. So now I am going to create my first Django project. So you have to write something for that, a command. So we can write Django admin start project, and let's say name is first project. Okay, so what it will do, it will ask the Django admin to start a project, a name which is first project. Okay, so the name of the project is first project, and we are asking the Django admin to start that project. Now I'll press enter, and you can see that there should be something. So let's press ls. So I have three things here: my project, my environment, keyword site. So we don't have to worry about all those things. We will go to our first project. Okay, so cd dot dot, oh sorry, cd first project we have to write, so that we can go to cd our first project. So we are into our first project now. So let's press ls and see what we have there. So we have first project and manage.py. So let's go to the project from here, and I can just open that particular project. So let's say open, and I need to close this first. So let's say I want to close it. So let's close folder, and now I'll open that folder. Open first project. So I'm into my first project now, and let's see what we have there. So we have a first project folder here, and we have a manage.py, which means that manage.py says that this is the Django's Python file, Django's Python script, which will manage all the commands which you will write in Django. So you can understand this by like it is kind of an interpreter which will help you in using Django commands. And apart from that, we have this init.py, which means that it is a Python package. So this is just for the initialization of a Python package. And after that, we have a settings.py, in which our settings will reside. So we have a lot of stuff here. And then we have urls.py, where we will put all the URLs, and we have this WSGI, which we will use when we will deploy our application on any cloud or any hosting site. So this is the structure of our project, and now we need to create some applications here. So what we will do, we will now move to the PyCharm, because that is the better way of doing Django project, at least for me, because that makes my work even easier than this, and we don't have to write that much commands which we did. So let's move to our PyCharm, and it will start in a minute. So we have this PyCharm ready. Now we can create new project, and here I can select Django. Okay, now you can see there are a lot of options here. So it is asking whether I want to work in virtual environment or not, so I can select yes. And here I have this more settings where I can say the template folder, this. So I will leave like this only. And you can also choose existing interpreter, which is your local machine, so you will not be using virtual environment. But because I want to use virtual environment, so I will use this option. But before proceeding to that, let's just move out from this. So we have already moved out from this, so I'm just closing this VS Code editor, and I'll move to this uh, Django project. So we will create this untitled project, and we didn't give it a name, so it is doing something for me. It is installing Django, and it will do all the stuff which needs to be done for working Django here. So we had to do this while using VS Code, because we haven't done anything, like we didn't install Django in that virtual environment, so have had to do it manually. But now while using PyCharm, we don't have to do anything. So it is doing some indexing, and you can see there are same files which we had in that environment. So this is venv virtual environment, this is manage.py, which I told you that it is for using all the commands. So I'll configure the Python interpreter, and it is looking good. And you can see here Django version is 2.0.2, pip version is 9.0.1, and setup tools can be upgraded. So what I'll do, I'll upgrade it. So yeah, it is installed successfully, so that is good. We will apply this. So I need to select an interpreter, so I have selected this one, and it should work now. Let's apply this. Oh, there's some problem, I guess. Okay, so it is saying that no interpreter found. There might be some issues. Let's say we want to install this package again. We need to change its name, I guess. Oh, we will use this only. Maybe because we already have a virtual environment there, that's why it is making some errors here. So what we can do, we will exit from here, and we can create a new project which will be inside. Let's make another folder here, Django 2018 my demo, and here I can specify a name, like I can say first proj, okay, which means first project, and I'll select the virtual environment as well. And now I don't have to do anything. Let's create it again, so that we don't stuck in any particular problem. And it is again installing Django, because we have changed the virtual environment, so it needs to get installed again. So we are installing Django again, and this is now our app will look like. And again, it is doing some work, background work. Then only we will be able to know whether that error is gone or not. And now it is looking good to me till now, but let's see, there is still a process going on. So as I told you earlier, so this is working fine. So this manage.py will understand your commands, whatever you will write in the command line. And there is a urls.py in which we will declare our urls. There is settings.py where our settings will reside. So this is the similar thing. So now what we are going to do, so we the good thing about Django is that we can create multiple applications here in our project, and we can use this application in any of other projects. So this is the very cool thing about Django. So let's create our first application. So what we will write, we will write python manage.py. so you have to just learn this command because this is the command you will use most of the time. So what we are saying, python manage.py start app. So it will create one app, and let's name it first underscore app. So what it will do, it will create an first app for me. So wait for a second and it will be created. So let's just, yeah, here. So we have this first tab here, and if I will just see what's inside this first tabs, then you can see there's a folder called migrations in which it is related to database. So you can just skip it right now. There is init.py which tells that it is a Python package. Then we have an admin.py where we will register our models. Then we have apps.py where the app configuration will be there. We have models.py where we have our database models. And then we have tests.py where you will create our tests. Then we have views.py where we can have our views for our HTML or everything. We will have the logic here. So this is our views.py. So this is about our first app. So now what I am going to do, I am going to start my first app and we will see what happens. So I will say python manage.py run server. Okay, so it will run my server and it is working perfectly. So now you can see that our server is running at this URL, which I will copy, and you can see there is a message, you have 14 unapplied migrations. You can just ignore this message. We will go back to this. So it is also showing that the current time, this is Django version, and you can also quit the server with Control-C. This is also saying that. So now I'm just copying this URL and we will paste it into a browser. So let's open Chrome and let's paste it here and let's see. Oh, so as you can see here that what it is saying, that this installed works successfully. Congratulations, you are seeing this page because debug is equal to true is in your settings file. And this is our first application, this is our first page, and our server is running, everything is running quite good. So this is all about our first application, and this is our first application. So this is all about Django. I hope that you understood this tutorial. It was quite once or twice if you will see this video, then you will understand it much better. So you can use PyCharm or you can use any other editor for Django development, but I prefer PyCharm because it do many of the manual work which you have to do somewhere else. So you don't have to do it here in the PyCharm. So this is about our first step in Django. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. And you know that what you have to do, you have to subscribe, you have to like, you have to comment if there's a problem, and blah blah blah. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, take care.